back to my channel, Kazzy here, and in this video I'm going to be doing my July book haul. Like every book haul that I've done for the past several months, I kind of went overboard again because I keep seeing books I want to read and people keep recommending books to me. Not that I'm complaining, but my bank account pretty much is. So let's just get on to them, shall we? This is in no particular order because I can't remember really what order that they came in, that I ordered them in, that I picked them up in, so I'm just going to pick them off the floor and just see what happens, okay? So first of all, I picked up a book series, and that is The Raven Cycle Quartet by Maggie Seavat. I don't know why I said quartet that way, but I'm just going to go with it. So that includes The Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and I got this version of it because it matches in with the aesthetic of all the other ones. And I know that there's a book cover that has more green in it, but I like the blue for Blue Lily, Lily Blue. And The Raven King. So these books follow the character of Blue, who's from a family of psychics, and also the Raven Boys, who are a group from a local private school. And all of her life, Blue's been told that when she first kisses the love of her life, he will die. And then her aunt turns up and says, this is the year that you will fall in love. And the Raven Boys are on a hunt for a mysterious Welsh noble who has been missing for thousands of years and who they think is still alive. And so they're on this hunt to find him. Everybody on YouTube has been raving about these books, so I decided, right, I'm just going to bite the bullet and pick them up, and so I did. And on that trend on books that are part of a series, I picked up the next two books in A Daughter of Smoke and Bone, even though I have not read A Daughter of Smoke and Bone. And they include Days of Blood and Starlight and Dreams of Gods and Monsters, all by Laini Taylor. Again, I have no idea what these are because I have not read A Daughter of Smoke and Bone, but I saw them going cheap, so I thought I might as well pick them up now. I actually really quite like the covers of these. They actually are quite nice, and I love this one. Yeah, this one. I also picked up Lost Boy by Christina Henry. This is a Peter Pan retelling, and I think it's from Captain Hook's perspective. And I think that because the synopsis on the back says, Peter will say I'm a villain, that I wronged him, that I never was his friend, Peter lies. And so it kind of twists it so that Peter Pan is almost a villain because he's taking people from the other place and bringing them to Neverland with the promise that there's no adults, there's no rules, there's nobody to make you grow up, but his idea of fun is a lot different to anybody else's. And so this is told from his friend's perspective, and I think it's from Captain Hook, but I am really looking forward to reading this because it just sounds like a lot of fun and just sounds very mysterious at the same time. I also picked up two books by V.E. Schwab, and I picked up This Savage Song and Vicious. This book follows two characters, Kate and August, who are heirs to a divided city where the violence within the city creates these monsters. Kate's father is an almost like for-hire protector against these monsters, whereas August just wants to be human within this city, but he's cursed somehow. But it's really all just about how they're supposed to be kept safe in a city where monsters are real and danger is real and everybody's just at risk. I have really no idea what this is about, as you can tell from my synopsis of it. It just sounds phenomenal from what people have been saying. They've been loving it. They've absolutely been hooked on it. And then Our Dark Duet is the next book in the series, which I do not have. But I'm just going to see how this one fares first. Now, Vicious, this is the one that I was most excited to get because this follows two characters, Victor and Eli, and they are college roommates who are very interested in near-death experiences, and under the right conditions somebody can develop supernatural abilities. And for me, that is just the entire premise of Sanctuary and Deadpool. But once they go from the theoretical to the experimental, everything goes wrong, and then they like have this huge falling out. Victor breaks out of jail and he's determined to catch up with Eli. This really just sounded like Sanctuary to me. If you've watched Sanctuary, you will know that the five are Victorian era friends who also experimented with, under the right conditions, somebody can develop superhuman abilities. They experiment with vampire blood, and so they end up with the five. John Drew ends up being Jack the Ripper. James Watson ends up being the inspiration for Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes. Nikola Tesla ends up being a vampire, because why not? Nigel Griffin ends up being the Invisible Man, and Helen Magnus ends up just with longevity. Super disappointed in that. In the episode The Five, I was led to believe that it was a lot better than just longevity. I am very excited to read this one. And I hope it lives up to expectations because I will be bitterly disappointed if it does not. I also picked up Because You Love to Hate Me, which is an anthology of which is an anthology of 13 short stories written by acclaimed YA authors who have been teamed up with 13 booktubers, and they've given them a prompt for a villain story that they would like to see, and this is the result. Some of the authors include Renee Adier, Susan Denard, Marissa Meyer, Victoria Schwab, Adam Silvera, and Nicola Yoon. These are the ones that I've heard about more. Some of the other names I don't really recognize. And then some of the booktubers include Benjamin Alderson, Benjamin of Tomes, Sasha Alsberg, A Book Utopia, Katrina Feeney, Little Book Owl, Jessie George, Jessie the Reader, Zoe Hurd, Read by Zoe, Reagan Peruse, Peruse Project, Christina Riccio, Poland Banana Books, and those are the names that I recognize. I think this is going to be a lot of fun because of the whole collaborative aspect of it and the fact that it's all about villains. I love my villains. And especially after watching Descendants, it's not for my demographic, but I'm a sucker for Disney and Maleficent. I think I'm going to really enjoy this. And I think I'm going to take this on holiday with me because, you know, short stories are the best thing to read when you're on holiday. I also picked up The Disappearances by Emily Bean Murphy. This sounds like such a good read. Every 7 years, something disappears in the town of Stirling. Now, it's not something that you think is going to be very superfluous. Oh, a car goes missing. No. Things go missing, you know, like reflections, sense of smell, sense of taste, the stars in the sky, the ability to dream. But Ayla thinks her mother is responsible for this. But her desire to find out what happens may not be what's going to save them. And I have heard from Reagan at Peruse Project talk about this, and it just sounds fascinating. It sounds so good, and I think I'm going to really enjoy this. The cover of this is beautiful. It's unlike the American version of it where it's a mirror without a reflection. I think in Waterstones, the girl at the checkout was like telling me that Emily's mother actually embroidered all of this. It's so pretty. Okay, the last two books I bought, I pretty much have no idea how to sum these up for you guys. They're just ones that I've heard the names of multiple times on Instagram more than anything else, and I saw them and I just thought I would pick them up. So the first one is An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. I've heard Haley and Bookland talk about this. Again, I cannot sum it up for you, and there is an account on Instagram where they have every single English version of this book. Again, I have really no idea what this is about. I know I can probably just read the back of it to you, but the tagline is, "Under the Martial Empire, defiance is met with death." That sounds interesting. And the last book that I got in July is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. Again, no idea how to sum this up, but it follows this character of Mia who was given her first lesson in death at 10 years old. And she's taken to the Red Church where she's tutored by these crazy characters of murderers, liars, and demons, and they're all part of this murder cult. And she's trying to get revenge. And that's pretty much all I know. It just sounds like such a dark book, but almost fantastical as well, and I am really excited to read this, especially when it's like got such a beautiful cover and the tagline is "Never flinch, never fear, never forget." Awesome! That is pretty. I'm just gonna more maps. This looks like it's gonna be good and rather epic. So that wraps up this video, guys. These are all the books that I bought in July. I know they're excessive, but what can I say? I like books. I want to read these books, and they just sound so interesting that I just want to get them. I just have to have them, and so I got them. I have no self-control. If you know self-control and buying books like me, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!